Whew, where do I start? Yeah.
Ja, bitte.
No, this is like private resources, so I'm not gonna reveal.
The yacht is 100% love, joy, emotion.
My dad is in the military, so he tried to teach me like the tough way and to follow the rules. My mom is very emotional.
We started with nothing. I started with nothing.
Hello everyone and welcome back again to the Business Facets podcast. This time we are going to talk about two different fields, two different businesses, but the combination between them just create an amazing things. We're going to talk about the yachting and we're going to talk about the interior design. And I have with me one of the most amazing personalities that I ever met in the yacht field personally, which is Mr. Farouk. And we have also Oz from OS Design. I'm super happy, super excited, I don't know how to explain to have you both of you in my podcast. So we're going to discover a little bit about you. If you can tell me more, because as much as I'm super happy to know you, I want that my audience know more about you, because it's all about quality people. It's all about quality mindset. And this is the aim of my podcast, is to show the true face of the business, the true face of the person who are behind that business. So Mr. Farouk, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us. And your energy and your happiness is really infecting me. So I'm happy to participate. And I think I can equally speak for Ozzy.
Absolutely.
It's very, very lovely to be here. And such a setting also.
Thank you so much. I've tried to do my best to express and to put the nice location, the nice combination in terms of the design, to have everything that express really the yachting and the interior design, because we have with us an interior designer. She takes very careful about the details. Is this matching? Is this good?
Oh, it looks perfect.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
So maybe you can hire me as an interior designer assistant.
Yes.
So yeah, Mr. Farouk, can you tell me more about your beginning, your childhood? From where did you start and how?
Ooh, where do I start? Yeah, it goes back a long way. I'm born in Tunisia.
Okay.
And I love the country, our culture. When I say our culture, it is the Mediterranean culture.
Yeah.
It's about hospitality. It's about brotherhood. It's about knowing people, appreciating each other, and also, in a good way, working together. And that is probably what is the biggest value that I cherish very much about our background. But I was born in Tunisia. I was 6 when I emigrated with my parents to the Netherlands.
Okay.
And I had nothing to do with yachting. I am the only, I think, yacht marketeer or yacht specialist that hasn't been brought up on the water. I was not sailing with my parents to know what yachting really means. So the first time I literally encountered the yachting lifestyle was when I was 18, and I was invited by Dutch friends to just cruise in the Dutch canals in Amsterdam, enjoying being on the water. And we had a little basket of food, several drinks, and loudspeakers with music. That's it. And I was amazed.
Then the love story starts.
I literally fell in love. I never knew at that age that this is going to be my business.
Yeah.
So that came later, but you probably are going to ask a lot of questions about that.
Yeah, that's true. This is like sometimes all the love stories start with something that we don't expect that it will happen. So
Definitely.
The way that happens to you, maybe it was a coincidence, but I think for Oz, I have a word because I've done my research. What is yaptem for you, Oz?
What is
Yaptem.
yaptım?
Yeah.
Yaptım.
Yeah.
Yaptım in Turkish means I finished it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the name of your pencil when you were 3 years old?
Ja, bitte.
Yeah, bitte.
He has really done his research.
He has really done his research.
Yeah, I told you.
Well done.
I have literally, that has taken me by surprise.
Yeah.
Did you speak to my mom?
No.
Or my dad?
Maybe, I don't know. This is like private resources, so I'm not going to reveal them.
Wow, that is unbelievable. So
Well done.
that was very impressive.
See?
Ja, bitte. In my language, when I was very little, couldn't speak much, but yabitam was my pencils.
Yeah.
Because I used to draw everywhere.
Yeah.
In the hallways, in my dad's car, in oranges, in breads. And I used to live for my yabitams.
Yeah.
They're my pencils.
So I think you start like very at young age, at 3 years.
So I was 3.
Oh
You have spoken to my mom.
I'm not gonna,
100% you have spoken
I'm not
to my
gonna
mom.
reveal my resources, but the fact that you start
3.
at the age of 3, and the fact of you start, I think, at the age of 7, you start creating
Yes.
things. And where did you know the interior design? Where did you know the word of interior design?
At the age of 3, I was discovered by an artist, a local artist, who said to my parents, she's very gifted. You need to start private lessons. And on that time, private lessons with artwork is just people never heard of it. So I started at the age of 3, couldn't speak much, write much, couldn't do much, but I used to go to my private lessons, art. And then at the age of 7, I think it was the doctor's waiting area, I saw my first AD, Architectural Digest. Oh my. And I saw something to do with interior design. I didn't know what that meant. I asked my parents. They said, so you're going to do the internal, the design of houses or, the waiting areas. We didn't have the concept of interior design much.
Yeah.
That was it.
This is what's really intriguing me. This is what inspires me, is that the successful people, at the start is not always the same. We don't start the same way.
Yeah. So now I understand what you want to hear in terms of. So I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Feadship, and in the specialism of marketing, especially today, it's very much data driven. It's trends. It is what is the latest, the newest, the best. But what people are forgetting most of the time, and that's how I became also in love with the trade of marketing. And if I say marketing, I mean marketing and branding, which is a totally different specialism. It started actually with my grandfather. I used to go to Tunisia. We went on holidays for 5-6 weeks because we were immigrants, and we used to go on holiday for that period of time. And I went to the mountains, to the agricultural sites. And in those days, you have to remember, no telephones, nothing else to keep you busy. And they used to do, my grandfather used to tell stories. We didn't have television. And that level of profound interaction, the deepness of making people engaged and listening to the stories and fantasizing about it, I think that is the richest form and the purest form of executing marketing. Because you force yourself to go to dig deep and come to the core and the essence of what you want to bring across. And if you are captivated just by audio, just by sitting and listening, and you don't have the picture or the video or whatever you're looking at, and you have to fantasize that. And we all, the children and my nephews, nieces, we were sitting around him and he was telling these stories. We could all see the same picture. And it was amazing. I think that, without me knowing, that's what laid the real foundation of my signature marketing, the way I execute it,
and this is
with
true.
my team at Feadship.
And truly, this is what I notice in Feadship, social media and digital and the branding. There is always a story behind every picture. I can feel that there is a story. It's not just a picture or video that I'm seeing, but it's a story behind. Like, it's taking me to think more. What's inside? What's happening? Is it what you try to express in Feadship?
So if you try to analyze what we are doing at Feadship, if you talk about the trade of marketing, and it's not about building yachts yet, because that is the essence of what we're doing. You're working with a team, and it's not me alone that is coming up with magic. But if you have a great team around you, if you're able to build great people around you, and you cultivate this process of coming up with magic in your narrative, in your branding, in your positioning, that you know that every detail matters, it is a collaborative effort. So what I have done is we've gone through the process together with the whole team at Feadship of understanding our DNA. And a lot of companies simply don't take the time to really go back to the essence of what they are.
Yeah.
What sets them apart from everybody else? So we went through the process of creating our DNA. Then we looked at our value proposition, why and what does our product mean to our clients? What are we making actually?
Yeah.
Because you can say, yes, we make a product called the Yacht,
Yeah.
but we're doing something totally different. We create memories. We create beautiful form of escapism together with your loved ones, with friends, and so on.
Yeah.
That is the essence of what we're making. That is what this brings.
Yeah.
So we created our value proposition, and from our value proposition, we said, okay, if we are a character, if the brand Feadship is a character, how do we come across?
Yeah.
So that defines the narrative that you're using, the words that you're using to connect with your audience.
Yeah.
And after that, we wrote a full manifesto. And that
Okay.
manifesto
Okay.
is the underlying foundation
Of the-
for the whole team
Yeah.
to work with.
Yeah.
And they are all creative. They all bring their input in their own specialism. So if it's the social media person or it's the events person, or they all come up with their own creativity, but based on that solid foundation.
True. True.
It is very, very, very important that companies understand that they have to go through that if they want to brand themselves
True.
properly.
True. True. True.
And that's what you're seeing
Yeah. And
in the way we are telling the story.
True, and I love the fact that you are telling the story, the fact that you do creation and creativity. This word what would push me again to Oz. What is your problem with the trend, Oz? You don't like the trend.
No, I
Or
don't.
you
like
don't, and you don't
trends.
follow
No.
the trend.
No,
Why?
we don't follow trends. No,
Why? So can you explain?
because it's very important to create something timeless.
Yeah. So it's the same, like interior design and yachting, it's all about creation. This is what I
It
love.
is exactly, but something to create that timeless look that year after year you can go back and still admire is a very exclusive talent to be able to create that. We can follow all the trends, but within a couple of years, it will die again.
True, true. And my question is, like we say in Arabic, behind every successful man, a woman, but behind every successful woman, is it a man or a team of who are working with you in the interior?
It's the village.
It's the village.
we say in Cyprus, where I'm from, we say a baby, if you have a baby, the whole village looks after the baby.
Yeah.
And that has been the case, in my case, when my parents had me. All the support group, the grandma and aunt and uncle, mom, dad, everybody supports your vision. So when I first decided to set up on my own, I was quite young. And when you're very young, you don't have much to lose.
Yeah.
So my parents said, go for it.
Take the
Just
risk.
go for it. Just take the risk. Because the older you get, you will have more responsibilities.
True, true.
And whoever are in my life, my friends and family, they all supported my vision. And we started with nothing.
Yeah,
I
true.
started with nothing. And
Me too.
even studying interior design in Cyprus, or when I said that I want to study interior design, coming from my father is a lawyer, my mom is an English teacher, it was quite an alien concept for them.
Yeah, yeah. It's, as you said, it's always about our parents. They are the key of our success.
100%.
They are the key of our success. Because to be honest, me when I was young, I was a very naughty boy. Like nobody could handle my personality. But I cannot imagine myself without having my parents into my life, because my dad is in the military, so he tried to teach me like the tough way and to follow the rules. My mom is very emotional. So the fact of having the parents who are pushing you to take the risk and to do what you love to do. And yesterday we have a small discussion about the fact that you are using some word. I would love to see, does it affect the children? Does it affect your children about the decision? But in somehow our parents always try to make the right decision for us, to avoid us at least to have the risky part.
To guide us.
Yeah, to guide us, but by letting us the freedom to choose. So I think your parents give you that freedom and that courage to choose what you want to do.
100%.
Yeah.
And they wanted to show us the world a lot. That's why we have become quite international.
Yeah.
So I had the concept of that international lifestyle, and I think that was very important.
Getting guidance comes in many forms.
Yeah.
My parents are both illiterate,
Okay.
cannot read or write.
Okay.
And I found it a form of heroism to take the decision to migrate from Tunisia, not knowing anything of the world,
No knowledge.
and moving to the Netherlands. Now I've learned to appreciate that very much and to have so much respect for it, because if someone asks me to move to Germany or to Spain, and I am educated, I have a good job, I have security and income, I would think 10 times before I do it. And they just like that,
like this big
instantly. So that is, I think, also a great example of how they shape you as a child. And great upbringing. Now we're going into a totally different topic. I also have 3 children.
Okay.
And upbringing is sometimes letting them choose their own path, because that's what you're referring to. I would love for my children to be in the yachting industry, but it will be their choice.
Yeah.
As long as I think they have materialized how they are going to keep themselves together and how they are going to create and create their own path of life, if you will, and career path.
Yeah.
So that is, I think, in essence, very important. I wanted to add, going back to Feadship,
Yeah. This is
because that is the creation of Oz's story and how she came about,
Yeah.
and it's very rich. Feadship is almost in the same way. With us, it's all about family, because that's what we originate to. So when we talk about Feadship, we always compare ourselves to our own colleagues, all the workers, and it doesn't matter which department you work, whether you're the welder or the painter or the marketeer, or we're all part of this community that is called a family. And why do we feel like that? Because we're all very passionate in what we do, but also the creation of Feadship, and not a lot of people know this. It was World War II,
yeah.
and a handful of yacht builders and a naval architecture studio called De Voogd, they didn't have any work anymore.
Yeah.
Because work dried up.
Yeah.
Europe was in ruins.
Yeah.
The focus was rebuilding Europe. So people were not buying yachts. So 7 companies, Dutch companies, yards and the naval architect, they decided to collaborate and to build yachts that they could try to sell to the Americans. That's how it started in 1949. And originally, the families that are the foundation of Feadship, they already exist 175 years.
Yeah.
But the collaboration in which they started Feadship is already lasting now for 75 years. And they built a yacht, went to the New York Boat Show, and we sold, beautiful Feadships. That was the real big break that Feadship got. And the name Feadship is an acronym.
Okay.
It stands for First Export Association of Dutch Shipbuilders.
Okay.
That's what Feadship says.
You knew it?
No, I didn't know that.
So a lot of people don't know
didn't
this, which is very, very important, because it's already a collaboration.
Okay.
It's already all family businesses working together.
Okay.
And can you imagine the chemistry coming out of that? And only 2 are left. It's Royal Van Lent, Koninklijke de Vries. They bought some of the other companies, and others went out of it when Europe was economically interesting again. But that's how it all started. And now we are literally a benchmark in the super yacht industry.
Yeah, of course. Feadship is one of the biggest company of the yachting of the world, to be honest with you. And this is what pushed me to ask you about the market. Do you find that the market is very competitive in the yachting world, or there is just few companies that you can take certain level of yachting, like the one that we're gonna talk about it with, that you did with Oz, or something like very specific? How do you define the market in terms of the competition?
So the easy answer is there are not a lot of companies that are able to deliver this quality. But no, like the automotive, a BMW has its own persona of clients than a Toyota driver. It has a different persona. A Rolls-Royce buyer is a different type of client. Our industry basically has the same, but we are not mature enough to really define that element of persona.
Yeah.
So we are literally delivering different segments of the market. If you take brands that build series, a number of yachts of a certain model,
Yeah.
and they build 20, 30, or 40 of that model, we call that series, building in series. They build on speculation. They already build and then sell out of their production line.
True.
And then you have semi-custom. That is the part where you already have a platform that you're building on, and the owner, that is a future owner that is going to come on and buy this yacht, has options that he can choose or she can choose from. Interior and design and so on. And then you have full custom. And I don't like the word custom because everybody is using the word custom.
Custom.
It is a worn out word. I call it uniquity.
Uniquity. Yes.
Yeah. And uniquity is an old English word and stands for the essence of what unique means.
Yeah.
The verb itself represents that we build only one-offs.
True.
And it's called the state of being unique.
True.
Our process, when you go through a process with Feadship, we actually don't know what we're going to build because that dream yacht of the next potential owner doesn't exist yet. We're going to build something new and only one.
Only one.
Only for you, 100%, and you are the creation. So we're going to, and we call that the carte blanche experience.
Okay. The carte blanche. Like
Carte blanche.
it's French word. Like you have the full.
The carte blanche experience starting with a blank page.
Yeah.
As a designer, she immediately understands what it means because the first strokes, the first lines are already shaping a vision, a direction.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And for you also the same question, is it, because I know a lot of interior designer and I spoke with a lot of interior designers, there's many in the world, some of them are really skilled one, like top notch of the interior designer. But do you think that every interior or any interior designer can work with a certain level, like for the yachting world, to create something luxury, something unique, something special? Is it something easy for you, or it's a challenging for you to create this kind of? So how was this experience to be into the yachting world?
Well, it depends who your client is.
Okay.
So it depends what the brief is and who your client is, what you're trying to achieve. So there are projects that you can very easily come up with something and the clients are going to be very happy. It depends what you have. But we take inspiration from sculptures. We take inspiration from history. We took massive inspiration from Feadship. How they are so family orientated, how authentic they are, what kind of quality they are looking for. So it depends what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, that's mean that's every client, like the creation that you are going to, you don't know how it's going to be.
We create exactly like Feadship, one-off. So we don't create the same interiors at all.
This is
Because-
uniquity. This is
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because everybody is different.
Yeah.
Each project is different. A residential is different than yacht. The yacht is different than the private jet. The private jet is different than the office block. Design is design. But how do we interpret that design with the client?
Yeah, and also something that I want to add about interior design, it's always an interior designer, he gives from his heart. Like every piece is a part of your heart in that creation. That's mean when you create that yacht, when you create the interior design for that yacht, is it something that you put your heart into it? Because everyone is telling me, Hamid, stop being emotional in your business. Because I said, if I'm not putting my heart in any business I'm doing, I'm going to be like anyone, like doing like commercial stuff or just normal stuff. Does the fact of putting your emotion and your love in the yacht, for example, you are creating, change the difference or make the difference?
I told something about our DNA. So we have a DNA that exists of 5 different wordings. In the center of it, the biggest one, it's called together we build an amazing experience. So what do we mean with that? We are catering to a breed of clients that really, really challenge us because of the nature of their character. We are having the most charismatic, demanding, knowledgeable, very, very intellectual clients in the world, and not to talk also about wealth, of course. And they are really the top of the pyramid from a persona point of view.
Yeah.
When they come to us, we already know, and they have already decided that they want to build with Feadship. And this is why Feadship is a benchmark of its own, because they push us to go beyond the limits of what the industry is doing. And we have the frequency of building unique yachts. So the element of innovation doesn't happen after you build 20 yachts.
True.
And then
True.
you go through to the next innovation.
Yeah.
For us, it's a very short cycle of coming up with a new thing
Yeah.
each and every yacht that we build. And that translates itself in materials, in shapes, in technology, naval architecture, and we keep on learning each and every yacht that we deliver. And all of that rich portfolio of knowledge is actually resonating well with the clients that come to us. Or else they can go to a series builder where they don't have a lot of choices, and you choose, okay, color A, B, and C, I want that shape.
Yeah.
It's already almost finished. I buy it.
Yeah. Okay.
With us, they really want to co-create, and they understand the power of co-creation.
True.
Because they want something that doesn't exist yet.
Mix between what the client wants, what he loves, what is his personality from his coming, and your expertise and your talents, of course.
It's exactly that, but it's him or her.
Okay.
Because we have female clients and we have male clients. And whatever the client, say the one who's paying, it doesn't matter, because there's always a him and a her.
Yeah.
In a purchasing process of a yacht.
You know, by mentioning him on her, I was very surprised yesterday, like very surprised. I will tell you the story that, because I really take care of the details. Yeah. I saw the relation, and you told me this is one of our customers, and I saw the relation between you and the customers. I said, oh my God, they're like friends. They are talking to each other like this. How this can be? And in the field of the yachting is like in an industry, and someone is buying, someone is selling, and someone is paying, and someone is getting the money. But when I saw the relation between you and your customer and your clients, I was like, there is a relation between the company and the clients.
We are not selling a product. We are selling emotion.
Okay.
Experience.
Because there is no rationale whatsoever for buying a yacht. If you buy a car, even a private jet, you're buying it because you have a functional reason to go from A to B.
Yeah.
The yacht is 100% love,
Joy, love,
joy,
yes.
emotion. So we are in the entertainment industry, and we're purchasing something that is beyond the business life, that is beyond that very arranged, that very rational environment that they're in. You have to imagine that our clients and many of your clients also, probably also all of them, they live in a world that is full of cacophony around them. There's a lot of arrangement. They have big responsibilities. If you have a company and you have 50,000 people working for you and you're catering to that type of economy, you have a lot of responsibility. They cocoon with us to spend time and to escape a little bit. I will give you a little example of that. A captain, and I told this story a few times, but it does give you a little bit of understanding. A captain once told me that the owner of the yacht that he's working on, he says, I always see him arriving in his helicopter, and his helicopter is literally approaching the yacht in the air, and through the glass, I can already see the owner in the air. And while the helicopter is approaching and it's going to land on the helipad on the foredeck of the yacht, and it's still hovering, I can see the owner already taking off his shoes, and he's taking off his socks. The helicopter lands. The helicopter lands. The door is open. They open the door for him. He goes out, and his bare feet touch the teak on the foredeck.
Oh.
And that's the moment. That's the moment that he sees all the stress sliding off his shoulders.
Yeah.
That's what we're building.
And about emotion, about this kind of relation. The same for you all. You know, when you create something, when you create an interior design for a yacht, for a villa, for I don't know what it, no matter is the project, there is this connection. You want to make your client or your client be connected with your creation, or you just want to deliver because you have to deliver at a
Oh
certain.
no, we take our clients to a journey.
Yeah.
This is a journey that we experience together. And most of my clients have been my clients for a long time. So you're within the family now,
Yeah.
and they get to know all my family. They get to know all my friends, and we always hang out together.
Yeah.
Because the more I get to know them, I become the structure of their mechanism.
Yeah.
It's not about only interior design. Actually, what I do is not only interior design. I don't create pretty things. It's
Yeah.
the emotions, the connections, even the smell, even the perfume, even the little artwork that we created for them, because it reminded them their mom
Yeah.
or their dad that passed away. And those emotions and all layering the materials equals to success. And the success doesn't mean the prettiest interiors. It's the prettiest interiors for them.
True. True.
So each project is very unique. It's very authentic.
I know there is a collaboration between you and Feadship as the concept C. Can you talk a little bit about this beautiful? Because I saw it, to be honest, I was like amazing. How it's designed, like
Unbelievable,
you
isn't
know, I'm not someone into the art or in design, but lately, like when I came to Dubai, I said I'll start like sometimes one piece can take me for 1 hour just looking at her like this and just exploring the beauty. So it's the same for the concept C. How did it start and how it's go between you, Feadship, and Oz?
So we tend to try to inspire the market with concepts because we build one-offs and they are already owned.
Yeah.
The yachts that we deliver, they own
already
by
owned.
someone. But many clients always ask us, okay, what is possible? What are the possibilities? Which direction? And we try to create concepts to know the extent of possibilities, just to inspire. So with Project C, first of all, it's a 75-meter Feadship.
Okay.
And we called it C because C stands for carbon.
Okay.
Carbon is the material of which diamonds are made.
Okay.
So our 75th anniversary is the diamond anniversary.
Okay.
That's why Project C is 75 meters and it's called Project C
C.
Yeah.
Okay.
of carbon. And the very recognizable elements of C are the hexagon shapes of diamonds and the way we have translated how to make use of light in a very, very clever way with a lot of innovation. And it had to also be very, very progressively future-oriented. So this is a hybrid yacht that we designed. And when I say hybrid, it is a fuel cell with methanol combination and battery pack. But we also created in terms of design language, the diamond was literally the inspiration. We created a beautiful centerpiece within the yacht that is an atrium going through all the decks.
Okay.
And the atrium, and you probably will showcase that in the videos.
We're gonna watch the design of the
Yes.
concept C here. So I really want you to admire this beauty because it's like something that I'm in love with that concept, to be honest with you.
So it has a lot of innovative features, but the connection of the decks, the open spaces, the use of glass as a material for making the transparency of the yacht come to life, because you give room to a lot of light to come in, and at the same time you come up with crazy gimmicks like we have something that's called an elevator. We call it the lift, which is also a common word, but the lift is not a lift that goes up and down.
Yeah.
It is an arm that from the atrium brings you to the different decks, and it
Okay.
even goes out of the yacht and becomes a crow's nest, so that you have a beautiful view
Okay.
of the natural environment that's surrounding you. And while creating this masterpiece, if you will, of a creation, because we do the exterior design. So our team, Studio de Voogd, amazing colleagues. They did this for Feadship, which we always do. And we thought, okay, what will happen if we involve an interior designer and to continue with that theme of diamonds and what diamond stands for, and how do we translate sustainability in materials. So before taking away and introducing Oz to tell that part of the story, so that's where Ozzy came in. I got to know Ozzy several years ago during a conference in Hamburg, and we found out that we, from a character point of view, we were quite the same. We love what we are doing. We have the same understanding. She's absolutely stunningly charismatic. And I saw with her way of moving what she has done. She is a very forceful already entity in the industry that she's in by herself. And I thought, wow, it would be amazing if we can see if we can work together on a project to to do things that are have not been seen before in this industry. And you talked about trends, and before giving you the word.
Yeah.
So for me, the word trend is captivating the essence of a lot of people doing the same thing and going in the same direction.
Yeah.
That's a trend.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of sheep
Just
going
go.
into the same
Following
direction.
yeah.
For Feadship,
No.
we have a payoff, and it says there are yachts and there are Feadships.
Okay.
That is our payoff.
this one, I love this one.
Literally.
Yeah.
And everything we do, this is in our manifesto. Everything we do or say has to lead to the real meaning of there are yachts and there are Feadships.
Sure.
That's why I don't like trends.
Okay.
So trends give me a sense of direction so that I know that I shouldn't go that way. We think outside the box.
Yeah.
That's how we use
True.
the essence of
Always think outside the box.
so the charismatic components, the quality of designs that she was making inspired us to see if Oz was willing to collaborate with.
How was the
with us.
experience, Oz, in the concept? See if you can tell us. How did you?
Amazing.
Before she gives a polite answer, not easy. Not easy.
Yeah, very tough client.
Not
No,
easy.
actually, it was easy. Why? Because it was communicated with me very clearly.
Yeah.
First of all, yes, the concept is concept C, is diamond. We know what we stand for. But when your client, when the brief is saying to you, we are celebrating 75th year anniversary of our company,
Yes.
and this is the product, how can you follow any trends?
You cannot.
You cannot. Exactly. So the trends, exactly, I completely agree with Farouk. And I have a very funny story to say about that one. I was on a long haul flight. I don't know where I landed. I had my speaker, the earphones on. I was the first one leaving the plane. And I'm not even looking where I'm going. I just naturally turned right. I don't know why. Didn't even look left. I just turned right. And then I came to the door. It says, no exit. You need to go back. And when I turned back, the entire plane was following me. That's a trend. And actually, you know where I turned right?
Yeah.
It was clearly saying turn left. Yeah.
So that's it. Sometimes you just follow, but it's the wrong direction when you follow that kind of trend.
I think research is very important.
True.
Creating new materials is very important. I think it's very important to listen what the brief is.
Yeah.
Most of the time when you have so many projects going and you need to deliver, and unlike what people think, actually it's very stressful.
True. Yeah.
Because when you have 17 projects that you are dealing with at the same time, and one client, let's say, is the yacht, the other one is a residential, the other one is 5,000 people offices that you need to move them within 2 days.
Yeah.
And the briefs are very different.
Okay.
So you need to change your hat
Yeah,
constantly.
because you know, with everyone you leave his own story. With every client, like as you said, with residential, you need to leave the story of residential. With the yacht, it's the same.
Exactly.
But my question here is, does this concept C is your masterpiece in terms of Yachting. This is one of the most beautiful creation you have made.
If you give me another 10 years,
Yeah.
I will do more and more and more. Design, you can never create one masterpiece.
Okay.
You will always work on it.
Okay.
What I am very proud of is in a very small, very limited amount of time, we developed completely new products, new surfaces. I have taken inspiration from sculptures, history. We created sustainable products, which was very important for Feadship,
Yeah.
which has never been done before.
Okay.
So we didn't take anything from off the shelf.
Okay. So,
That was very important for me.
so as you said, Farouk, the concept, the product of Feadship, or I don't want to call them product. I'm going to create them. The creation, the masterpieces of Feadship are already sold. This is what I understand from you. That's mean when you create something, it's already some for a client or for an end user. Does the concept follow the same procedure? Does mean it's something created for a
No.
client, or something that you wanted to create something new and provide it to your clients?
Our concept designs, like C, are always meant to capture the essence of what we learned from all the yachts that we have delivered, but also looking forward to showcase what is possible. So if a client comes, and that's the only difference what we do if you compare us with many others, if we create a concept design and a client says, I want 100% that and exactly the way you did it, we can build it.
Okay.
So that is the difference. But most of the time, our concepts, someone sees it and he says, oh, that element that you have done there, for instance, the lift. Oh, very cool. I want to do that. Can we try to work? And we say, yes, of course. So it's basically meant to be an inspiration, a source of inspiration.
True.
And for people to absorb and maybe love.
Yeah. And if you want to see all the creation of the Feadship, it's going to be, of course, available in the website,
Of
in
course.
the social media.
You can find them on our website. You'll find we have a lot of segments to find.
I saw yesterday we were playing like, let's discover this one, let's discover this one. It's like amazing to discover the world of Feadship.
So all our concept designs are all on the on our website. You go to the design page and you will see a world of designs. We even created an art gallery.
Okay.
It's called Masterpieces, actually online, where you discover different designs also
This is
in a
what
very
we saw
playful way.
yesterday.
What you saw in the touch screen.
Yeah.
Understanding our clients, because they are the reference for each and every design. They are the starting point, like Ozzy already explained. We made 3 stories to better understand the mindset and the intrinsic value why our clients are buying these creations.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to say, because you are trying to look for a word that is not as cheap as a product, it is literally an art form.
Yeah.
You don't ask a painter who has painted beautiful and very artistic paintings, which one is your favorite? Because probably he or she has put their soul into each and every one of them. And
So true.
Van Gogh or Rembrandt or
Yes.
the old masters. It's very difficult for me and being at Feadship to say, okay, this is more beautiful than that one, because I find them equally intriguing, if you will.
Yeah.
They're all in a way unique to the extent that they have beauty in them, because in the end, literally, beauty is always in the eye of the beholder.
True,
Yeah.
true. So I'm gonna ask the last question in terms for Feadship, because you are talking about your client. Who are really your client, Farouk? How do you define because you talk about buyer persona.
Yeah.
How do you define your client for you?
So first of all, Feadship never talks about our clients.
I don't want to.
No. I'm so.
If you can give me the names.
Because the element of confidentiality, we serve a breed of clients that are very confidential, because they're not out there to show what they have.
True.
They are there. They buy it for a totally different reason. It's the stage in life that they're in they came to the conclusion to finally reward themselves for whatever reason they're doing it, and it's always emotional. But our specific clients, I can say where they come from as a region. So we have probably 45% comes from the US.
Okay.
Second group of clients would be Europe, Asia, Middle East.
Okay.
In the past also we
So you can
we
provide
serve-
the client to all
yeah,
over
they
the
come
world.
from all over the world.
Yeah.
What they have in common is they are probably all of them very, very successful entrepreneurs.
Okay.
They have conglomerates.
Okay.
So they have achieved huge things in life. And most of the time, they literally created their big conglomerates
Okay.
by themselves. Yeah.
I don't want to make it a long podcast because I really enjoyed, but I can ask you questions after a question
You're
after
free
a
to ask,
question.
no problem.
But yesterday we had very nice discussions when we spoke about giving to the other generation. What makes you happy when you were talking yesterday when you said about sharing, and I saw your eyes glowing like, oh my God, this lady, she want to share. And I told you, we enjoy when we give. What is your advice for the next generation? What is the golden advice that you can give them, especially for those who want to do interior design or architecture and interior design?
It's not only the education. Education is very important.
Okay.
I studied interior architecture. I studied architecture. I did interiors on my 5th year. I did furniture design and technology. And I did MBA on business, emotional intelligence in business. But I didn't have much help in this industry when I started. I was quite blind. I found my own way. But I didn't let any opportunities to go waste.
Okay.
Always give 110%. Always be respectful. Always have the urgency a little bit. People are not going to wait for you. Urgency.
Time is money.
Time is money for our clients.
True.
And we should be there to just, when they want something, they're not going to wait for you to create that for 6 months or 9 months. Sometimes it depends on what we were talking about, depends on the project, depends on who your client is, what they are expecting from you, what your brief is. But my biggest advice is good to be authentic,
Okay.
true to yourself, not letting any opportunities to go, and to be the CEO of your own life, not only your own company.
True.
So because interior design is not everything. If you are lacking education in the other areas, so the reading, constantly listening to podcasts, sports, it is kind of a puzzle. You need to put your puzzle together.
Okay.
And create your own niche.
True. And the same question for you, Farouk. If you want to give a golden advice for someone who wants to be part of the yachting world, what's going to be your golden advice?
So the funny thing is we met at a conference and I was giving a lecture. It's called the Millennial Takeover. It's about the future or the current generations. I call them the digital natives.
Okay.
Because they are brought up, I'm talking millennials and Gen Z and on top of what Aussie, because I agree fully, take the time to find patience to not only to learn, to sculpture your own path.
True.
Exactly.
When I started, for instance, you start off having had an education, and then you start your first job. You apply for, you look at vacancies. And what I learned through time, the best advice is if you can sculpture your own, sense of what makes you happy, and you can try to understand that. Getting to your goal is then much easier because then you know, okay, that's a sense of direction. I'm gonna apply, or I'm going to connect, and I'm going to network. And if there's one big advice that I would give is network in the right path that you have created for yourself, that you have sculptured for yourself, to make sure that's the fastest way to get there. But please be patient, because in today's world, everybody is bombarded with materialism, with stories, with fake media, with AI now is going to become a major, it's going to have a major impact on the opinions of people, the level of insecurity people have, the burnouts that people have nowadays, young people I'm talking about. Secure yourself. Don't mind all the
And be
the
focused.
complexity and the context of everything, all the cacophony around you.
Yeah.
Find literally your zen.
True.
Try to capture that and find your path.
And
And
focus
don't
on
be
it.
shy to do that. I mean, walking up to someone.
True.
I've had this many times. Young people that come up and ask me, I always try to have a word with people and not to be ignorant or diss them in a certain way. I try to be, if I'm able to answer the questions. And 9 out of 10 times, especially when they're young, they come back to me and said, you are one of the few that actually respected my walking up to you, and you literally gave me your time. And I love doing that because in the end, this is our future.
True.
We, especially me, I'm an old man, we have to invest in our future. And they are the ones that are going to take over. This industry is an amazing business. I love it. I rolled into it, but it is absolutely magical. It's, talk about family again. You went to a party with me in this industry yesterday. We all know each other. We all.
It's like families, yeah.
It's literally
It's
like
all the
family.
family.
It's all the
Everybody
families
knows
like-
each other.
Everybody knows each
we,
other.
yes, and that is what I love about this industry. And everybody's approachable.
Yeah. So
And you are better than the one that is neglecting you.
true.
That's another message.
True. You're right.
Literally.
You're right. And I really appreciate the fact when I proposed to you to do the podcast, you didn't even think twice. You told me, yes, of course, I want. And I'm not going to say it's made me happy, but I was proud to ask, when you have that, proud to ask someone for something and he say, yes, I'm going to do it for you. And with the same enthusiasm, the same vibes. I love that about you, and I really appreciate it. And I love that also about us. Yesterday we had an amazing discussion. Today we had an amazing discussion. I don't want to make
Thank
it
you.
long. So thank you so much for being
very much.
my special guest for
Thank you
today,
for
and
your
thank you so
time.
much
Thank
for
you.
your time. Also, I'm really happy to have you with me, and see you soon with the next episode of the Business Facets. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
you.
you.